Lives here. Thank you for being patient as this is unfolded. What led us to come here is the getaway car that was used in today's robbery was discovered and recovered here in the apartment complex. We had immediately deployed our K9 unit to track to see where this person may have fled from the car, and it fled to the K9 tracked to one of the actual apartment buildings. So we felt comfortable that the suspect that was the suspect from today's robbery was in this apartment building. That's why over the last several hours we have deployed K9. We had our aviation unit, our SWAT unit was here, and our negotiators trying to have every probability we could to have a peaceful outcome. We've spent several hours trying to contact every owner in this 8 apartment duplex in towards the rear of the complex. We got to a point where we felt we reached as many people as possible, so we had keys, we had a search warrant, and we started going into each unit trying to find this suspect. Unfortunately, the announcement that I have today is we weren't able to make contact with this suspect. I do feel confident that he's not here. We do believe that he got into another car and has fled from here. So residents that live here, we feel comfortable that you are safe, that he's not here at this time. But with that being said, we will have an increased presence here throughout the evening until tomorrow to make sure everyone feels comfortable. So if you see a deputy out here, don't be alarmed. We're going to have a much more increased presence just to make sure everyone has that comfortable feeling since so much manpower and sheriff's office had been here for so many hours. We will continue working with the FBI, continue to follow every lead possible. It's obvious now that this suspect has become much more brazen. We can't say with entire certainty that this is the same suspect that's been involved in the other robberies of these other banking institutions. He certainly does match the same description. We're going to go on the assumption and be extremely cautious that it is him and that he has become much more dangerous. He has obviously elevated his degree of violence with the 2 victims that were shot today. An update on their condition: one has been is finished with surgery and is in stable condition. We know that, let me back up, the security guard was shot at least twice. Shot at several more times, but shot at least twice. One was in the back, his ballistic vest that he was wearing. Thank God saved that from penetrating him. The other one struck his lower torso area, but he is out of surgery and he is in stable condition. This good Samaritan that we keep talking about that came to the rescue when he saw the Brinks driver being shot at and being attacked, he is out of surgery as well. He is in stable condition. The only update that I have on him is that he was also struck in the lower torso, but again, it's non-life threatening and he is in stable condition. Again, there is no public safety threat to the residents here. We will continue working every lead possible. Believe me when I tell you, because he has become ever increasingly violent, this is a priority of ours. Our troops will continue working. Weekend doesn't mean no weekend for our deputies and our detectives. They will continue to follow every lead. We will make it a priority until we put this individual behind bars where he belongs.
Do you have any possible leads right now as far as what vehicle he may be in or where he may be headed?
We don't. We're researching that now. We're still combing through a ton of surveillance video. We're looking at different residents' ring video that they have here. So we've just literally finished clearing those 8 apartments to make sure that we feel comfortable that he's not here. But there's still a lot of work to be done.
Were you able to get physical evidence at the scene that you may be able to use to tie this person to the previous incident?
Again, we will work through that now. The car, we believe that he's been using this stolen car for quite some time. That means there has to be some DNA and a lot of other things that law enforcement officers get big smiles on their faces when they get a hold of these pieces of evidence. That will be taken back to our lab and we'll immediately start processing this vehicle, try to determine who this person is.
Sheriff, if you could, just for clarification, there is the serial bank robber that the ATF and the FBI have put out the notification about.
Correct.
Does the suspect description here match that, and in what ways do you think it may be the same individual?
It matches the same description. Like I said, I can't say with entire certainty that this is our guy. We believe he's the same suspect. Same physical description, same MO, same a lot of different characteristics that we're matching up between those bank robberies and this one. So we believe he's the same suspect.
Sheriff, I have to ask you a tough question.
Yes, sir.
With all due respect, there was a time lag between the earlier bank robbery, the incident, and I know that you want to be the disseminator of information because you're the person ultimately responsible. But do you think in the interest of public safety, you could have put out notification a little earlier or perhaps in a more time-concise timeline that this was an active situation going on to alert people in the community that you had a SWAT situation going on here and a dangerous felon at large?
Fair enough question. The reason we didn't and we chose not to is because we felt confident that we had him in one of these apartments. We felt with all certainty that we had him contained. So we didn't think there was a public threat. We evacuated every apartment around. There was one individual we weren't able to evacuate due to a physical condition, but there was no threat to any public at this time. So we didn't. We always err on the side of caution. We didn't this time put anything out additional because we felt our guy was in this apartment. We were all still surprised that he wasn't in that apartment when we sent the robot in.
Thank you. Will you be putting out a MOLA with Thank you. Prize photo?
We will, and thanks for bringing that up. Yes, I did want to finish with this. We have some additional photos. They're not great, but we have additional photos and some surveillance video footage from the bank, the GT Credit Union. We're going to get that out here momentarily to everybody. Yes, that'll be out here momentarily. Thank you again for being patient, everyone.
That was Sheriff Chad Chronister, everybody, live here at the scene, making a hasty exit there as they are currently working the active search right now for the suspect in the bank shooting that took place in Brandon earlier today, right before the lunch hour. Again, 2 people were shot outside the GTE Financial over there on Bloomington. Those two victims are expected to make a full recovery, as you got the update there from Sheriff Chad Chronister on their condition. Really important, folks, that you see this image here, and I was trying to bring this up on my computer screen so that you could see it, but this is the tweet that was sent out moments ago by the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office while the press conference was taking place. Sheriff Chad Chronister and team, Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, are asking for your help to locate the suspect who shot 2 people, again, as we go full screen here, outside the GTE Financial earlier today. If you recognize this man and have whereabouts or information on his whereabouts, call HCSO at 813-247-8200. Various hashtags beneath that. But these are the 2 photos. Again, described as a black male, 6'1", 6'2", with dreads. There you see the image. This is believed to be from either the ATM or right there at the entryway of the GTE Financial. Here's another shot that's a little bit more close up. Here we have somebody's arm coming into the picture here, and this is the blurry, kind of blown out photo showing the black male, 6'1", 6'2", with dreads, that is believed to be connected to the shooting of the 2 individuals. Again, those 2 individuals, everybody, one of them, the driver of that armored truck that you see there on your screen, making a deposit to the ATM, servicing the ATM at the GTE Financial. The other one, a good Samaritan who came in to intervene to assist in the situation, also suffered a gunshot wound by the suspect in this case. So a lot of hours spent at the second location, at the apartment complex in Hillsborough County, where they were trying to negotiate with the person in that apartment, believing it to be the suspect, or believing that the suspect was in the apartment at the time. You see there on the bottom of your screen, as we just found out a short time ago in the press conference, the suspect was not in the apartment. That the car that had fled the scene, the car that had gotten away from the GTE Financial, was in fact at the apartment complex, but the actual driver of that vehicle, or the subsequent suspect in this case, not there. So now a massive search is about to get underway for the suspect. The search that was honed in on one apartment is now going to be expanded to Hillsborough County and maybe even beyond, as they look for the man here that you saw on your screen, everybody, in these images. They're looking for what's believed to be this person, this individual, the black male, 6'1", 6'2", with dreads, said to be responsible for the shooting that took place at the GTE Financial in Brandon. So everybody, we are monitoring this story, of course, very closely. We have multiple reporters, team coverage in our newscast tonight on WFLA News Channel 8. 8 is on your side. Be sure to download the WFLA app and go to WFLA.com for more information on this story. It's developing every hour. We're getting new updates. One more time, I'll show you here the live picture, everybody. Here we see all the various vehicles that are coming out from the apartment complex, all the assets that were driven to the apartment complex. And I believe I have the apartment complex here on my screen in my notes, everybody. Trying to remember the exact name of it, but the apartment complex in Hillsborough County. Look at the sheer number of vehicles, the massive response to the apartment complex in the Brandon area, as they believed that they were negotiating with the suspect, or they believed that they had the suspect cornered in this apartment, only to find out sometime in the last hour or so, hour plus, and sometime in the recent time frame here, that the suspect wasn't there. So now a much larger search about to get underway in Hillsborough County as they search for the suspect, the man accused of shooting 2 individuals, one a armored truck, Brinks truck driver at the GTE Financial earlier today, the second one being a good Samaritan who just tried to help from the parking lot of the bank itself. So everybody, one more time, everybody, we're going to go full screen here so that you can see the images. You can see this here on your screen. That is the gentleman, the man that they are looking for, the suspect in this case, right here, everybody. Not sure what he's holding here. There you see the armored truck behind him. And then here we see somebody's arm, and there is the man that police are stepping up enforcement looking for. One more look here also, everybody, at Sheriff Chad Chronister's mobile unit that they rolled out here to the apartment complex. All the various vehicles now are leaving that apartment complex. I'm sure it was quite a scene for the folks there at this apartment complex, trying to figure out exactly what was transpiring. But now we have just learned that they are going to be focusing the search in other areas, a much larger area of Hillsborough County, as they try to track down that suspect. Everybody, I'm JB Buno. Team coverage tonight on WFLA, as well as updated articles coming your way on the WFLA app and WFLA.com. We'll stay with you here on Facebook just a moment longer, just to kind of show you a live picture here of the scene. Again, a ton of vehicles. It was a massive response here at the apartment complex. As we can see here, the sheriff himself being there, going from the bank location on Bloomingdale to the apartment complex. There it is. Avenue Creek Bridge is where I believe that we are. And again, you can see that a lot of people are now being allowed into the apartment complex, as this is no longer deemed to be an area where the suspect might be. The suspect was believed to be in one of the apartments here, and after several hours of being here on the scene, investigators would later determine that the suspect wasn't, in fact, here. So they are packing up here, everybody. We got to get going here in WFLA now. Again, team coverage tonight from our team of reporters, 8 on your side. We'll be there with you every hour, every step of the way as this story develops, and more on WFLA.com and the WFLA app. I'm JB Buno. Thanks for being with us.